only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want a ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
Welcome to Lions Nation Unite Live. We're going live at 1 o'clock because I have to go to rehab, and I am here with my buddy Mark Oram from Oram's Forum. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? What's going on, everybody out in the chat? It's great to be on LNU, man. It's been a hot minute. Let's talk some football.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate everybody hanging out, getting on a little bit earlier. It's going to be like this for about a month because they put my rehab at 4 o'clock every single Tuesday and then 2 o'clock on Thursday. So I'm good for my personal channel, but I got to go a little bit earlier here on this channel, and because I got to get my spine right. Got to get my spine right.
Take care of yourself,
we got,
brother. Take care of yourself.
Absolutely, man. We got to get that thing going. So we got John Kapler in the building, Bobo Lane in the building, Chrome, Tim Monroe, Dwanner, Big E. What is going on, everybody? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, and we just got to get into it. I've been working all day, and Mark says, hey, congratulations to Jared Goff, 2-2 to Pro Bowl, man. Huge shout out to Jared Goff. He's a Pro Bowler. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, man. He's going to the Pro Bowl games. You know, they switched it up a little bit now. It's more of like a flag football situation, and Jalen Hurts, who was named to the Pro Bowl, is going to the Super Bowl. So he's going to be a replacement. Jared Goff, he was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC, and he deservedly so. I think it happened with Amon-Ra St. Brown as well, too. Penei Sewell, those guys got named, I think, a little bit during the week last week. So those guys are going as well. I think that's 3 guys, maybe 4 we got going. Is Khalif Raymond going for special teams? Not too sure, but Jared Goff, man, hey, one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC. He deserves to go.
I know, man. It's been a long time since we had a Pro Bowl quarterback in the Pro Bowl. I felt like he deserved it, but damn, they actually gave him the recognition because obviously Jalen Hurts is going to the Super Bowl. You got Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra first down, and you got Frank Ragnow. So the Lions offense is getting some love here. About damn time. Mark, we're getting some love.
Yeah, we're getting some love. Hey, this is a good thing. We're getting recognized by not only the fan base, obviously, but some of the media. And like I said, man, Goff had a good year. I think him and Kirk Cousins, you could have flipped a coin to see who was going to go for the Pro Bowl games out of those 2 quarterbacks. And they gave it to Cousins. He had maybe a little bit better numbers, not really turnover wise, but. They were pretty similar quarterbacks, but Hurts is going to the Super Bowl. That's the main thing for that team, and Jared Goff is going to take over, and he's going to go to the Pro Bowl games. Man, hopefully these guys stay healthy, and we don't want to see any of these guys get hurt. It's pretty, it's a fun flag football game, but those guys really competitive out there, so it's going to be pretty fun to watch. I'm loving the background too, bro. By the way.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I've been working on it all day. Appreciate it, man. A lot of hard graphics that come into this stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you, it takes about 8 to 12 hours just to get one scene going. That's how ridiculous it is, and it has to be just right and perfect, all of that lovely stuff. So it's nice that you appreciate that. I appreciate everybody. 9 drinks into building. Let me know, are you happy that Jared Goff's in the Pro Bowl? Hell yeah, man. Put Y for yes, N for no. Show some love to our players. It's important that the Lions get the love. It is important. I feel like they deserve it, man. This offense was killer. Now, obviously, you can look at defense, be a little bit different there. It's just a little bit different.
A little night and day.
Yeah, it's a little bit night and day, but it's nice that Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Amon-Ra first down. is in the building, so
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
give it a major Y for sure. So shout out to him. I have not heard anything about Aaron Glenn as of yet. He did get a second interview with the Arizona Cardinals, and it looks like that he's one of the finalists, one of the three finalists. Three,
Yeah.
four, not a whole lot coming out of there right now. What do you think about Aaron Glenn? Do you think he gets the job? Do you think that it would suck to lose him? Do you think it'd be a good thing, bad thing? What's your thoughts about AG?
Man, I'm really on the fence with this one. So he did get that second interview. Okay. I know there was a couple. He was one of the top 3 candidates. There was the guy from Denver. I can't remember the other 2 guys' names as well. But, hey, man, good for Aaron Glenn. If that's the situation, I'm really on the fence with it. 2 years in a row, we've had, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So, 2021 was an absolute train wreck. And then 2022 didn't start off very well with Aaron Glenn leading the way. And then, a couple firings later, Aubrey Pleasant gets fired. Aaron Glenn kind of takes over the secondary with Duker there, with Duker, our safety coach. So those 2 guys kind of took over that as well with Glenn kind of pulling double duty, being the DC as well. So, and we had that bad defense in 2022 as well, but improved, like I said. Man, I'm really on the fence with this, Mike. I don't really know, man. I think if he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. I'm not really too up or too down about it. I just know that if he does stay in 2023, this man needs to improve this defense from start to finish. You can't start off slow like we did and then become opportunistic during the middle of the year and start getting the turnovers and doing what they were doing, because if you look at it, the bottom line is, man, this team was still really, really bad, especially in the yardage department. Getting gashed on the ground, getting gashed through the air, that has to change, man. And if Glenn sticks around, he needs to improve. But if Arizona wants him as a head coach, good luck and Godspeed, man.
You do get 2 conditional third-round picks if
That's
a
right.
minority coach goes to another team. It would be, I think it's 1 each year, so it wouldn't be 2 in the same draft. Yeah. So you'd get 2 conditional third-round picks there for the Detroit Lions. Look, AG is hard to tell, you know what I'm saying, regarding what he brings. Obviously, the players love him. They want him to come back. And I do think he's going to come back. It's hard for me to think that he actually gets a job there, but I tell you what, Arizona is in a world of hurt, and who knows what the hell's going on over there in that organization.
It's not really – I don't think it's really a really good landing spot right now, man. I just don't think it is. They got some good players over there, though, but I don't know. I think the organization itself, you got some players in there. Kyler Murray, is he all in? I don't know if I'd want to be a head coach for that team.
Yeah, I mean, you had it looks like DeMarco is going all the way to the Houston Texans, the San Francisco 49ers,
there, eh?
DC. So
Wow.
Passing up on the Arizona Cardinals, going to the Houston Texans mean you got some butt cheeks going on. A lot of butt cheeks. So I don't even know if Aaron Glenn will, obviously I'm sure he would take it if it was offered to him, but I don't know if it'd be a good idea for him to actually get it. And then they seem to fire a coach like
after 7 games.
I know.
They don't even give they don't even give their coaches much time, man. I'm surprised they gave Kingsbury that much time. So I don't know, we'll see.
100%. So we got free agency coming up here, Mark Oram. We got a lot of needs, specifically on defense. A lot of players that we could acquire to help this team out. What is the biggest need in your opinion? What do you think the Lions need to do to address, as part of this team in free agency?
I don't really have a list in front of me of individual players, but we got to stick on the defensive side of the ball, man. We were absolutely horrible in air yards and rush yards against. So I'm thinking we're going to need a big body up front, a linebacker. Those guys, like run stuffing linebackers and run stuffing defensive tackles. I think that's going to be our biggest concern. Like a Daron Payne, you're going to have to pay a little bit of money to get a guy like that, but that's a guy that can stuff the middle for you. He's a great defensive tackle, played for the Washington Commanders. He could be a guy that they could pay. You're going to have to pay him to get him, though. But he can play the run. He plays the run like a beast. He can get to the quarterback. He creates pressure. He creates problems in the middle. And then go get a linebacker. There's a guy, like there's linebackers out there that can stuff the run for you. And, I like some of our linebackers that we had this year. I thought we improved, but I think we need a major upgrade. We need a big linebacker, like a 6'3", 240-pound linebacker that's not afraid to take on, a guard or a center or a tackle. Get up right up on the line of scrimmage and play the run. So I think defense is a major, major issue still on this team. And I think DT and linebackers are very important. And then you might as well say secondary as well, too. We need some corners. So defense overall, bro, that's for sure.
There's a philosophy, a lot of people, it's like, do you want to spend that type of money on a defensive player like a Daron Payne? Someone that's going to probably cost $19 million a year, but he's 11.5 sacks. To me, he's the best player in free agency, and especially what we need at interior defensive line. Would you think it'd be a good idea to spend the type of money, or do you like, no, I just want to go to the draft, want to draft my guy, and do it that way? Or do you think this a little bit different? Maybe you should spend some money this time.
I'm okay with spending a little bit of money. Like, obviously it's not my money. It's not our money. So, but I'm okay. If you can go get a player that's a dog, then go do it. Brad Holmes said when he came out and said after the season was done, he told everybody, listen, I'm not going to spend money just to spend money. They're going to have to fit this culture. They're going to have to, they're going to have to get along with these teammates and this coaching staff. They're going to just have to be a fit. That's the key word that he used. And, if they can bring in a Daron Payne and they can interview him, they already know what type of ball player he is. We already know the guy is one of the best defensive tackles in football. But the thing is he going to fit the culture? Is he going to be a guy that's just looking for a check and just showing up? Or is he going to be a guy that really wants to win? So I think Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and whoever else is in that interview room interviewing these free agents, bringing in these guys, they're going to know. They're going to know right away by body language. They're going to know by the way they talk, the way they represent themselves, what they say to these guys. So I'm okay with spending money just as long as he fits the culture and these guys want to win. Just don't spend money to spend money. I know there's guys out there that are like, we need to go grab everybody. That's not what Brad Holmes is going to do. He's going to make sure that these guys are a right fit. Doesn't matter if he's going to be $5 million or $50 million. It doesn't matter.
Kurt says, I'm so sick of people pushing Daron Payne. You want to pay a guy top 5 DT money and a guy who has given 1 year of production in a contract year. Are you concerned that it was a 1 year thing, or because the fact that he's 25 years old?
I'm not concerned about that. It just all depends on the situation. Scheme is really important here too. Where those other years, was he in a bad scheme? Did he have some injuries? What really happened? Why didn't he blossom right away? Some guys just don't. Some guys take a while to bloom. They really do. He could have hit his peak this year, and maybe he'll plateau, but he'll be a guy that's going to get you 7-8 sacks from the defensive tackle spot. Like, he's a good defensive tackle. He's a guy that I think would be an upgrade in this room. Yes, I know it's going to be a lot of money. I'm not pushing for Daron Payne. I'm just saying if that's what they want to do, I think it's an upgrade. You have to look at it from a production standpoint. Yeah, okay, man. His other years weren't great. I haven't really seen his other years. All I'm looking at is this year. It's kind of like the draft. Look at the draft, man. Look at the draft. There's guys that don't really do much for the first 2-3 years in college. Aiden Hutchinson is a perfect example of that. Didn't do a lot at Michigan, but blew up the Big Ten his last year at Michigan. And then that's why he was drafted second overall. So it kind of happens a little bit too in the NFL. Some guys just don't blow up right away. The production-wise, this guy could be a guy that could get you 8 to 9 sacks a year from the defensive tackle spot. So to say, you're sick and tired of it, hey, man, we need an upgrade, bro. We need an upgrade, Kurt. So, it would help, I think, the situation. Just hopefully he fits the narrative of what this team wants. That's all.
Kurt says he's only chasing the money. Well, unless you know his mentality of his brain function, I don't know how you could possibly say that. No one know. You don't know.
Do you know him personally? Like, do you know him personally? That's the thing.
I know,
like
you don't know him personally. You know, I can listen to other sides of the story, but when you start saying this is fact that he's chasing money, you don't know what he's thinking unless you're him himself.
They're all chasing money, man. They're all trying to be better.
Everybody's chasing money. You say, well, he was around good people, then why does everybody like Jalen Carter? I love Jalen Carter, but I tell you what, when he's been at Georgia, he was surrounded by a lot of good talent. Doesn't just because you're surrounded by talent doesn't make you a bad player. Hell, look at the Philadelphia Eagles. The whole damn defensive line and linebackers are full of talent. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. You got to look at it as somebody in an individual side instead of just making statements like that and just disregarding somebody. Because, you know, I remember 3 years ago somebody said Derrick Henry's just chasing money. I said, man, I'd love to sign Derrick Henry to free agency. Oh, he just did it to chase money during his contract year. I swear I had a lot of people say that's what it was. 2,000 yards later, 2,000 yards later. So I mean, man, you don't really know until you know. I'm not going to say either wise. For sure. So, look, we need defensive interior. That's a big need for the Detroit Lions, and that's what they have to get. We can't rely on Levi Onwuzurike. We don't really know what's going on with him. He had a spine fusion, and I'm telling you right now, spine fusion's no joke. This is why I'm going to rehab right now, so I don't get my second spine fusion. I have one in my upper neck. This would be in my lower body, so... Paying at $19 million would be same old Lions. It's okay. Well, I guess Glover Quinn was terrible. Same with Reggie Bush. Same with players like Golden Tate that in free agency. Just because they're in free agency doesn't make it a bad decision. You have to look at it an individual player. Albert Complainsworth, yes, he was a bad decision.
That was a bad decision.
Absolutely was a bad decision. So
that's why they go. That's why these guys go through the interview process. Like, Brad Holmes is not going to shell out $19 million and then bring him in and say, oh, oops, I made a mistake. That's why they're going to interview these guys and see where their head is at, and then they make the decision. Deron Payne is going to be a lot of money, 100%. Or you can go out and you go get a Poona Ford, the guy from Seattle Seahawks. You can pay a little bit less, but you're just going to get a guy that's a depth piece. So, like, what do you want to do? You want to get a dog or you want to get a depth piece? So, I don't know. It's up to them.
Yeah, it's up to Brad Holmes and the fit that he's got to get for this football team. How long does it take to recover from that type of procedure? Detroit fan, man, it took me 1 year just to get to normal strength. Literally, and I had to go to therapy, rehab. You go from being normal to zero, like you're a baby again. So, like, I had it in my neck, and it took me a whole year just to be able to do one push-up. It took 1 year. I remember going to the gym, and it was just I used to be really big into the gym before the injury, and I could barely just curl a 5-pound dumbbell. So I mean, it's a big issue. Obviously, it's different. It depends where his fusion is at, where part of his spine, we don't know that, and obviously he has, I'm sure, much better therapy and a physician than I did because he's a player, and I'm sure that they're really good with recovery. But we don't know because there's a limitation. When you have a fusion, it's it. That's the last resort. That's why you go through rehab. That's why you go through all this stuff first, because there's no turning back from a fusion. Once it's done, it's done.
You're trying to avoid that, right, Mike? You're trying to avoid that.
You try to avoid it at all costs. But if it's the last resort, you got to do it. It's just the way it is. So
you've already had one? You've already had one fusion?
I've had a double neck fusion on my vertebrae from my neck into my it took a long time, man. It took a long time. And right now I'm looking to get it probably another one on my lower spine, but I'm doing this rehab to not do it. Not do it right now. And so that's kind of what we got going on here. But linebacker as well. The Detroit Lions need help at linebacker in a big way. Everybody, well, I want to say there's mixed on Alex Anzalone. You know, should the Detroit Lions bring him back? Should they not? I know one person was upset with me because I said resign Alex Anzalone, But if you look at the free agent market, it's not that good. Now, I also said like Leighton Vander Esch, or you sign him potentially to a 1-year deal, prove-it deal for a guy who he's had injury concerns, but it wouldn't be much for a 1-year deal. What do you think about the linebacker position? There's older linebackers out there as well, but I just don't see Brad Holmes going that route. They like youth. What do you do? Free agency, Alex Anzalone, free agent linebacker. We only got 2 right now on the roster, 2 current linebackers on the roster. Derek Barnes and Malcolm Rodriguez. The rest are all free agents.
Right.
Josh Woods, Anthony Pittman, and Alex Anzalone. We got 2. So what do we do at this position here? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think as well.
Well, you're definitely going to have to look in free agency, and you're definitely going to have to look in the draft. I know Anzalone. I think Anzalone was one of the guys that said he would come back on a cheaper deal. I believe he was one of them. Don't quote me on that. Ask him what he wants. I think he's a good vet leader. I thought he had a good 2022. He's still missed some tackles. He's not a guy that's going to blow you away, but he made a lot of splash plays. So I'd ask what he wants. I'm not going to overpay for an Alex Anzalone, but I'm definitely bringing in a linebacker. There's Levante David is out there, I think, as well too. He's a little bit older. He's a little bit older guy. I think he'd be a nice bridge linebacker to bring in. But you still have to go draft one. I think bottom line, you have to draft a linebacker. You have to bring one in. We're young, like you said. We got Barnes. We got the Rodriguezes. I think I have a feeling Barnes might come out a little bit more in his 3rd year. I still think he's a developing player. He kind of got pushed to the side a little bit by Malcolm Rodriguez. That's going to happen. Rodriguez was just, a special find in the 6th round. So you're going to have to build around these young kids, man. You either re-sign an Alex Anzalone, you're definitely bringing one into the draft, or you go out and you go get a guy like a Levante David, or you go out and get some guys that could just upgrade your linebacker room in general. So it needs to be addressed, and I think Brad Holmes knows this. He knows how bad our running defense was, and linebackers pretty much helping with that. So we're going to need to upgrade that room 100%.
He fully understands, and I'm sure that the linebacker position's got to get upgraded, and that's going to happen in the draft. You can't go into a season with only 2 linebackers on the roster. Yeah. That's just not going to happen. And why I say the Lions should bring back Alex Anzalone, first off, he knows the defense. Secondly, the free agents are thin, and in all honesty, I just don't. I love Levante David. He's one of my favorite players, but he's 30. I just don't believe Brad Holmes is going to go that route just because of the age. He's shown that he would like to get, younger guys, and I don't know if Levante David would particularly want to come to the Lions anyways. Maybe want to go to a different team or just back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I think Alex Anzalone would be a good bridge for a guy who we draft, whether it be it's probably in the 2nd or 3rd round. And, hold it down this year with him, the rookie, Malcolm Rodriguez, and Derek Barnes. Thinking defensive tackle out of Carolina Panthers. I think that's the route that they should do. I think they should. And, again, potentially getting a guy like a Leighton Vander Esch in free agency to approve it 1-year deal, I think that would be a big-time upgrade for the Lions there just by getting a guy in free agency, as well as in the draft. High. I tell you what, Nine Drinks, I absolutely love Trenton Simpson. I am adored by him. Unfortunately, I don't believe they're going to go that route. He's a first-round talent. Brad Holmes has shown he doesn't like to get linebackers that early. I would love it. I think it'd be a fantastic pick at 18. But for sure. So you're with me, get in free agency, get a player, not necessarily – there's not really one that's out there that's a game changer after Roquan Smith got signed. So get a guy, but we got to draft one high. That's how we're really going to upgrade that position in the draft. Secondary, Detroit Lions need help at the corner position in a massive way. I think there's going to be big turnover here for this offseason. I think Amani, he's gone. I don't think he's going to come back. Maybe Mike Hughes probably doesn't come back. But you need to probably get a veteran in free agency here, and obviously in the draft, you've seen a million mock drafts. They have the Detroit Lions getting a cornerback. But free agency start, a lot of corners on the market. Are you willing to sign a player, a veteran out there, like a Byron Murphy, a little bit younger corner? Or do you want to go, I want to go stud, I want to pay top dollar to a free agent corner like Bradbury, something like that? What is your position in free agency for the corner position?
Well, yeah, for the corner position, we just need, again, man, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. We keep repeating it over and over again, but that's the bottom line. Like you said, Mike, we don't know what Oruwariye. It looks like he's probably going to be gone. Okuda's a little bit of a mystery. We'd like Okuda physicalities. They said that, this was, Dan Campbell kind of saying that this was pretty much Jeff Okuda's rookie year, so, and they have to make a decision if they want to pick up his fifth-year option too. So, but we have him for one more year at least. But I don't know what they're going to do there. So, free agency, they have to bring guys in. I'm okay if they want to spend a little bit of money again. If they want to bring in a Bradbury, man, and he's a baller. He's an absolute baller. He's a guy that looks like he wants to win. Been on a few teams, though. So you're going to have to kind of wonder why teams have let him go in the past. But that's what the interview process is all about. But he's going to be a guy that, he's going to the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. But he's going to be a guy that you bring in. If he even wants to come to Detroit. Or like you said, you go get a younger guy like a Murphy, and you don't have to pay as much. You might have to pay a little bit to get those kind of guys. But those are kind of the guys that Brad Holmes has kind of gone after. Gone after the younger guys, get the 1-2 year deals, and then some have panned out, some haven't. So all I know is, Mike, is that upgrade is a must. So they're going to have to upgrade that secondary because it was brutal.
What do you think about going in the draft and doubling up at corner? I've seen mock drafts, they do that, and initially I'm like, but it's so deep at that position in the draft. It's immensely deep, the corner position. You could get a guy at 6 or 18, and you get Emmanuel Forbes in the second round and throw him in a nickel position, and you have a scary secondary. What do you think about that? You say, no way, don't double dip on the corner. Just go ahead and just get one solid guy, whether it be at 6 or 18.
I'm never against it because, you have to look at the situation too with the Lions. Okuda's going to be on maybe 1 or 2 year deal. We don't know what's going on with guys like Jacobs. We don't know what's going on with Oruwariye. So I'm okay with double dipping. You go get a Porter. You'll get a Cam Smith. You go get those types of players. If they wanted to do that, like you said, the guy in the second round, I forget his name. But yeah, double dipping's okay. I don't think it's a problem. But we have so many other problems going on in this defense on all 3 levels. It's like, okay, you went double dipped in the secondary. Now what are you going to do? Now you're going to be waiting in the second round to go get that defensive tackle. But Brad Holmes has clearly made it. He's made it obvious that he doesn't really value linebackers early, so he could go get his linebacker later on. But I'm okay with getting with double dipping on a secondary. If it's going to be 2 studs, why not, man? Because I think this D-line is going to be better next year. No matter what they do, I think they're going to fix that situation. And if you get 2 lockdown corners, a guy in a nickel, a guy who can go on an island by himself, that's a bonus.
All right, folks, it's your time to shine. It is the mailbag segment. If you got questions, let myself or Mark Oram know. Let's get this thing going, man. Hey, and again, if you got questions, let us know in the comments below. Getting this thing set up right now. We love the mailbag segment, and that's where we have some fun for sure. So, hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU. Get that thing flowing, and we will have fun, man. We will have fun. I'm sure it's going to be draft. I'm sure it's going to be free agency because we're all excited. Maybe though, just maybe, it will be about the fact that Jared Goff is a Pro Bowl quarterback. Jared Goff is in the Pro Bowl. Jared Goff is the man who is getting recognition, Mark. Again,
Yes,
for people that just came in, if you didn't know, Jared Goff going to the Pro Bowl. Going to the Pro Bowl, Mark.
The Pro Bowl games. The Pro Bowl games. Yes, that's what they're calling it now. So, hey, man, congratulations to Jared Goff. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC. So that's good, man. Get some recognition. We love it.
Mark Orem, we got a question here from John Kepler. Says, hashtag Mike, do we take Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle, in the second round? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the kid out of Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a third-round talent.
Yeah, that's the kid that had the gun. That's the kid that had the gun at the airport. I forget where, or he got pulled over with a gun. Yeah, that's the kid that went to Michigan Wolverine. Good defensive tackle, man. He probably was a second-round pick. But he is a load. He is a really good football player. But, again, you're going to have to bring a guy like that in, man. Some character issues. Why was he carrying a gun? So,
Yeah. Hashtag LNU, any day two running backs that we can draft. There is a plethora of running backs that you can draft. Hell, I know everyone talks about Bijan Robinson, but there's definitely some guys. If you look at on my personal channel, I did, hold on a second. Let me find that video for you guys really quick. I did showed a ton of players that the Detroit Lions could get in the draft. I did go ahead and talk about the running back position. Let me get the exact title of this damn thing really quick. While that occurs, do a name. Let me get this for them.
Yeah, I think there could be like a day two running back, maybe a Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. There's Zach Evans from Ole Miss. There's some good guys that they can go get right now. I think Evans is probably ranked maybe one of the fourth or fifth running backs coming out in this 2023 draft. But it's a guy I like. I like Gibbs. Those Alabama products, those Alabama running backs can be good in the NFL. They always translate well. So that's definitely a guy I'm looking at. Who else? I got a little list up here that I kind of made myself.
I put it in there. That is a list
Zach
of
Charbonnet,
50. Of 50 draft prospects the Lions could look at. There is a ton of running backs to Charbonnet out of UCLA. Very good running back.
Former Michigan Wolverine.
Yeah, former Michigan. Bigger guy. I like the stout, the pound that he brings. I think that would be a good option. He's a second round. I don't know if he'll be there with the Lions' second round pick, because I think he's between that pick 32 and about 48. So he'll be in there. Possible though, that he could be available. He would be a guy I personally like for sure, that the Lions could look at. What's another guy maybe in the third round for?
In the third round, man, there's some. In the third round, you can probably look at a guy like a Tank Bigsby, Muhammad Ibrahim. That's a kid that's pretty good out of Minnesota. I really like that kid. That kid could slip a bit, about 5'10", 205 pounds, 210. There's some guys out there that can actually run the rock, man, in the third round. So, like a Charbonnet, you said, but he might go a little bit early. I really do like him.
Yeah, sorry, guys, got a cold here. A little bit of a cold here going on. Yeah, man, definitely. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs, everybody knows about.
Yeah.
Chase Brown as well out of Illinois. A lot of Illinois prospects starting to show some love after the Lions got Curb. So he's
a Canadian boy too.
What's that?
Canadian boy. He's a Canadian boy too. The kid out of the last guy you said, Chase Brown. He's Canadian.
Well, those Canucks, man, you know how they are.
They're crazy, dude.
They're crazy. Hashtag LNU. Who will be the Lions' first All-Pro, Holmes or Campbell?
Like
Under Holmes and Campbell. First All-Pro? Penei Sewell.
All-Pro. Penei Sewell's a good one. I'll say Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra first down. He's got Amon-Ra first down. And I got Penei Sewell. I think both of them are definitely really good. Let's see. Isn't there anybody else who thinks drafting Q Johnson and Bijan Robinson the first round would make this offense fire for the next 3 years and beyond. Come on, man. No, that's 100% of a take there. I'll give my spiel, and I'll let Mark do his thing. But I think if you were to give Bijan Robinson, a lot of people say, oh, you just got to go defense. But you got to understand, you would complete this offense to be the scariest offense in the NFL, competing with the San Francisco 49ers, competing with the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you want to win games, you do got to have some offense as well, competing with the Philadelphia Eagles. If he was to be there, I mean, you're giving Jared Goff every weapon that you want. If you're a fan of Jared Goff, or if you want to see him succeed, you give him every single weapon for him to do it. I understand that idea. So would I get mad at that? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't get mad at it. And I know a lot of people would, but I wouldn't. What about you, Mark?
Well, if you drafted, the Quentin Johnsons and the Bijan Robinson in the first round, okay, that's fine, man. You're going to have a killer off. Even better than 2022, which is hard to figure out, man. So it's like, wow. But, then you're ignoring your defense. So I wouldn't be like, I'd be a little bit upset about it, I think. I'd be like, okay, we got two ballers, but man, now you're getting those second, third, fourth tier guys on defense. So, I like the idea, but I don't like the future of it, man, because then you're just, now you're behind again on defense. So I think it's going to be a problem, man. We have to have some guys that can make some stops on defense, man. We have to address it, I think, a little bit earlier than the second and the third rounds in this NFL draft. So the idea is nice. I just don't like the future of it for defense.
Hashtag FGB. How about Ronnie Bell in the 4th or 5th round to play behind Amon-Ra first down in case gets injured? Well, could be a fact that they may go wide receiver because DJ Chark may not be back too. So that's another thing as well. So, he's about 6 foot tall, Michigan guy. I don't know if they're going to go that route. I think if they go wide receiver, it may be more of an outside, maybe 6'3", 6'4" prospect. Because if you want to look at a guy who kind of take over Amon-Ra, St. Brown, if he gets injured, honestly, Tom Kennedy, I think, is a decent backup for him to do that, or even a Khalif Raymond. I think they can play the slot well. I think that they can play whatever Ben Johnson wants them to do. I don't know if they would draft a guy to back up him. I'd probably go size. What do you think about wide receiver, in this case, Ronnie Bell?
I like Ronnie Bell, Michigan kid, like you guys talked about, Super Shredder said in the chat there. He's a good football player. He's a guy that probably would have went in the draft last year, I think, but he got hurt. He did get hurt 2 years ago. He got hurt 2 years ago. Hell of a wide receiver. Not the biggest kid. Can fly, though. Great hands. Like Mike said, I think we're going to have to, eventually address the wide receiver room eventually. We got guys like, Khalif Raymond on a 1 more year deal. Josh Reynolds is coming back for only 1 more year. What's going on with Shark? So, I expect them to put their, to dip into the wide receiver room, free agency wise or draft wise. So I like a Ronnie Bell. Not sure if they're going to go that route though.
Alan Nelson, Golden Lions, who y'all looking out for in the Senior Bowl? Any specific positions? Man, I haven't really got into this group as of yet. I've been really busy today. I'll try to get on it tomorrow, but I've been extremely busy trying to get this new look for you guys for LNU. So I have not looked at it. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alan. I haven't really gotten into the Senior Bowl quite early this year yet. Yeah, I know they were talking about a little bit on the NFL Network today, but I was doing something else. But I will get on top of that as fast as I can.
Let's see. What about trading down and getting a linebacker in the first round? I would love for the Detroit Lions to trade down. I think that would be absolutely amazing. If you can go from like 6 to 9-ish, you can still get the same type of talent there. I think it's vital that the Lions attempt to trade down. The word's attempt. It's not like it's something that happens. You got to have 2 willing parties. But for sure, I'm with you, Patty Grimes, fully. I think if you can do that, that'd be great. Maybe pick up an extra second-round pick, and guess what? If you'd have 3 of those second-round picks, if you want to move up late in the first round, you can. You can do that. So I think that would absolutely be something the Lions should look into. What do you think about trading down from pick 6?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, Patty Grimes. Brad Holmes, he's shown in the past that he loves the wheel and deal. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to deal with other GMs, other organizations. So if he can go down, he can acquire a couple extra picks. I think he's going to go do it. So I'm okay with it. And I trust Brad Holmes. So acquiring more picks is always a bonus in my eyes.
100, man. I think you have to. You have to at least look for it for sure. And if Brad Holmes does that, obviously we've seen it. He's a guy that likes to trade up and down, so 100%. Hashtag Lions Nation Night. What's up with the running back we drafted last season? Does he have a shot at making this team? Jamar Jefferson?
Good question.
He's been on the practice squad the whole time.
Yeah.
Right now he does because we Justin Jackson's a free agent, but after the draft and after free agency, probably not.
Yeah, it's just up to him. I think Justin Jackson and Craig Reynolds are free agents, and Jamal Williams is still looking for a deal. He was just on NFL Network today. He was on Good Morning Football, so he was on there. But a guy like a Jamar Jefferson, can he do it? It's all up to Jamar, man. He had the talent at Oregon State. He was a late round pick, so who knows, man. Holmes took a shot on him. It's up to him now.
This is a great comment here by Dr. Detroit. Says right here, we always get studs in the second round. 100%.
Yes.
We are really good at getting those studs in the second round.
Yeah.
Oh man, studs. You mean duds? That's for sure.
We get the best. We get the best in the second round. We should just draft in the second round because we're so good at it.
I know.
My goodness.
Let's see.
Yeah, we've been bad.
Look up.
Who'd we draft in the second this year, Mike? Who'd we draft this year in the second? Or last year?
Joshua Pascal.
See, he was up and down too. He's probably one of our best drafts in a while, but he was like this. He was like a roller coaster. We didn't really know what was going on with that kid.
The second round is just gaudy hell, man.
Showed some flashes, went down. It was like a heart monitor, man. Up and down, up and down. We didn't know what was going on.
With our success rate in the second round, I think we should just always trade the second round pick.
Unbelievable, eh? Unbelievable.
Oh, man. What if Elliott doesn't re-sign? Do we go for Branch from Alabama? I've seen now 4 mock drafts that has Branch safety at 18. I don't think they do that because you got Kirby Joseph and Tracy Walker. I don't believe they do that. What do you think about this? This is to me, this is the biggest one that's a mystery. What do you think about the safety position?
Well, I like our safety position. Like you said, we got Kirby Joseph, who I thought was going to be a developing player, and it got thrown to the fire after Walker went down and played excellent for a rookie. And they got Walker coming back from injury. So, we had Deshaun Elliott. He's a free agent. I don't think safety right now is a huge need. But like we've talked about in the past, they do some 3 safety sets on this defense. You get some more big body safeties out there in certain situations, certain packages. So I don't think it's a need or a must, but it's a guy you just might make sure that you're going to hit on that because that's going to be a guy that is probably not going to play a ton. It's going to right off the bat, and he's going to be a high pick. If you're going for a Branch, it's going to be a higher pick. So you're going to want a guy coming in that's in the first round that's going to play more. But he is a good player, good for the future. But I don't know. I don't think safety is a must. I really don't think it is. I'm okay if they go for a safety, but it's not a must in my eyes, man. I don't know. You?
Super chat here. I don't think it's a must. I think it's a luxury, kind of, right? Real quick, because of Tracy Walker and Kirby Joseph. I love what Kirby Joseph brought to this football team. But if they went that route, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to do it because you do need help in the back end of this defense. Super chat here from Steven Liking. Some other cornerbacks not talked about much if we get to. Emmanuel Forbes. I literally, just talked Jalen Jones, Eli Ricks, and Tyreek Stevenson. That's funny, Steven Likens. I don't know if you're here just a little bit earlier. I was just talking about Emmanuel Forbes. He could be a second-round pick if the Lions decide to double dip, and he's the best nickel corner probably in this year's draft. There's a lot of cornerbacks in the draft, just absolutely a ton, and it's crazy. It's crazy how deep it is, but it's the deepest it's been in a long time. Thank you so much for that super chat. What do you think about that? I mean, like, there is even Eli Ricks there, second round talent.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Steven Likens named a couple good guys too. Probably the two guys I like the most out of this one is Jalen Jones and Eli Ricks. Jones, man, is he's a physical corner. Ricks has got some speed to him. Those are two good corners that you can get probably later on that a lot of people are not really talking about. People were talking about Eli Ricks at the beginning of the college season, saying that he was going to be a high draft pick, but he kind of slipped a little bit in the draft. The combine will be coming up in a month or so 2 months or whatever, and then these guys might jump a little bit in that ladder. But I really like Ricks and Jalen Jones, especially Jalen Jones. He plays the run really, really well too. So I do like him. And talk about those guys late for sure.
We got our.
Whoa!
We got our.
This guy! This guy! My boy is here! My boy!
My God!
Yes! I didn't even notice.
I'm not even. Don't say his name
clown.
because I'm just gonna block this dude so people see it. I'm blocking it right now.
He's back.
I just wanted to do the hide user from this chat. There we go. He's done. Don't say his name, though, because you give them recognition, they keep it up. But I just want to do the clown emoji right here.
Mike's more professional than me. Mike is way more professional than me. I would have kept that guy on, and I would have just razzed him all day. But Mike's way more professional. Good for you, Mikey. I
just
wish
blocked
I had
these.
your
I like to highlight it. Don't say the name because you give them recognition and then make fun of them with the clown music. That's always fun because I don't want it to screw up the chat. So please, guys, don't even say his name in the chat.
What? All right.
No, I am definitely.
Okay.
I am a sellout.
Wow.
I am a sellout. Let's see here. We'll have to watch film on Branch. You guys are overlooking Branch. He's more of a safety nickel. Plus, you don't know how Tracy Walker will cover. Actually,
True.
Tracy Walker, you're a little bit correct on there, but he actually just posted on his Twitter account of him exercising, jogging around, and
too, right?
Tracy Walker. Yeah. So he's coming along pretty good. So I don't know if, he probably won't be ready for training camp, but maybe for season 1, yes. But look, Marcus, if they decide to go Branch, I'm not going to be upset about it because we do need help at the secondary.
100%.
So I'm not going to be upset about it. Matter of fact, of all the players picked at 18, Marcus, he is consistently mocked the most, and it's shockingly. But I did the research. I got a video coming out. I don't know if it's next couple days, but he's actually the most consistent one mocked at 18. I was shocked. Where'd this come from? But 4 times he's been mocked this week to the Lions at 18. So if you like him, there's a potential there. There is for sure.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of love, man. Like lately, Brian Branch is getting a lot of love. So if he's going to the combine, we'll get to see him really up close and personal too.
Can we get in the later rounds as a backup quarterback? Yes, you can. And there's a guy out there, a player whom I like. He is a quarterback, and he is good. His name is Toon. Very good quarterback. 40 touchdowns. I think it's 8 interceptions. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 13. Damn it.
What's his name, Mike?
Toon, right there. Very good. Very, very good quarterback. Very good guy. Clayton Toon. Let me get his exact stats for you guys right now.
Okay.
Because I was a little bit off. 4,074 yards, 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So I said 8 is 10. The QBR is 75.6. This is a late round guy you can probably get in the 5th, even though we don't got a 5th-round pick / 6th round. He is a 4-year starter, a player that, look, he's actually a little mobile as well, too. He's got a decent arm. He's not got the strongest arm in the world. It kind of reminds me of a young Jared Goff, 6'3", a guy the Lions could get. You sit behind him, and I would take him right now over what we have as a backup, in which is butt cheeks. What is another quarterback the Lions could look at maybe later in the draft, Mark, that you would like?
Later in the draft, man, I definitely like Max Duggan out of TCU. You know, he's a gamer. You know, he beat up on Michigan in that semifinal game. Had a very good year. He's not the biggest dude out there, but you know, he's just a tough kid. He's got a great arm. He can take off, and you're going to be able to get him. You're going to be able to get him maybe a little bit late in the draft. So you can get him maybe in the 5th round, 4th round. All depends what he does at the combine. He could go up, could go down, who knows. But Max Duggan is a guy that I like out of TCU, one of those Horned Frogs. So that's a guy I definitely would be looking at. And we need to upgrade, like Mike said. Our backup situation is terrible. I thought our best pickup of the year was getting Joshua Dobbs, and we lost him to Tennessee. They plucked him off the practice squad. So we can't go into the season with Nate Sudfeld or a Tim Boyle or anything like that. So
and it's cheaper if you just
definitely
go later on of the draft, too, for sure. Witherspoon or Branch, I'd go Witherspoon. I think the corner's a much bigger need for Detroit. I think that would be the route I would go. Speak easy, baby. What's up,
brother?
Easy, baby.
Speaking easy.
I gotta get him on LNU. I gotta get
him on, bro.
Speak easy on LNU. That's right. That is right. You heard that right, Speak easy. Talk behind the scenes, but Speak easy, man. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to him. He does the Woodward heavyweights, and he's got his personal channel there. Love to get this guy to get more subscribers. He's hilarious. Met him at training camp, and he's become I'd say, pretty good friend. Pretty good friend on the side there. He's funny as hell. As long as you got a credit card, we need to go ahead and go to some shops. There's some adults, Tom Brady is a backup. Man, look, I know people said we're going to get Tom Brady. No, we're not getting Tom Brady.
We know.
It's not coming here.
Yeah.
I don't want Tom
What
Brady.
A weird. It's just he wouldn't do it anyways. I know Patty Grimes is joking around. He's got the laughing emoji there. I know he's kidding. I don't understand. There's people that literally thought, hey, that'd be a good thing. Like Tom Brady's going to come to Detroit and back up. He's not backing up anybody. He's not backing up anybody for one. He either gets a starting gig or he retires. It's just, you know what I mean? Like it's not happening. It's ridiculous.
He's talking about Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Jeff Berg, the quarterback from UCLA. Yeah, he's good too. I highlighted him in one of my videos as well. Another late-round option, mobile quarterback that could sit behind there and help out for the backup role, for sure. I think that is a need as a backup. Okay, when I say quarterback, I'm saying backup. So before I get a lot of Jared Goffs thrown at me, I'm talking backup. Because if Jared Goff goes down, you need to have somebody that can hold the fort down for a game or two.
Hold it down for a couple weeks or something. If you know what I mean, you need somebody.
Yeah, just somebody, man. Because I missed having who's that backup to Matthew Stafford? It was Sean Hill, right? Sean Hill. He was a damn good backup, man.
He's good, man.
Yeah.
He was good for all the teams he played for. Just a good, solid backup. Not going to wow you or anything, but he could fit. He could play it 2-3 games in a row if he had to. Hopefully win you 1 or 2.
Don't blame Easy for Goff's rankings and ratings. He just report the facts. Cooper Rush, I'd like him as a backup for sure. No, I think he'd be a great backup. I talked about him last year for the Lions to have him as a backup. You get a Cooper Rush. It's going to probably cost you a little bit more. Mike White, he's probably going to be a little costly as well. Then you still draft a guy to sit behind there. Who has more sacks in 2023, Aiden Hutchinson or James Houston? Great question by Speak Easy, baby.
It's a good one. Man, I'm going to say Aiden because I think he's going to be starting still. I think Houston's still not going to start yet. He's got to work on a lot of his game. I think he needs to work on his run coverage. He needs to work on if he can drop back as a linebacker sometimes. We already know that he can get to the quarterback, but I don't think he's a 3-down guy yet. So, I think, obviously past situations he's going to be the guy coming in, but I still think Aiden's going to get more. I don't know. Be tough.
I'll go James Houston. Why not? I'll go James Houston there. Hello, Mark and Micro Mike. I don't think a quarterback is a priority. You don't win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, but you can miss the playoffs. Not having a backup quarterback. Say we're 9 wins. We got to get to 10 wins to make the playoffs. And between this 9-win season, we lose Jared Goff for a game. And we don't make the playoffs because we lost one damn game, kind of just like this last season. That one game you didn't have, it potentially at least gives you a chance to win that game. It would get you to the playoffs. Hell, we've seen it with what San Francisco did. Brock Purdy. They lost Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Brock Purdy takes them all the way to the NFC Championship game before they had to go to Christian McCaffrey because they lost their quarterback. Right. So,
of course, yeah. Yeah, like a priority. Like we're not really saying it's like a priority. I think like you just have to upgrade it a little bit. I'm not saying go out get somebody early or anything like that, but you can go get a guy that can possibly help you out. Say Jared Goff, like Mike said, goes down for a game or two. Say he goes down for a month, 4 weeks, and we're on a roll. You want a quarterback that can come in and give you a shot at least winning 2 of those 4 games.
Yeah,
I think that's very important.
Not just saying you automatically lose every game, in which that's how it's been. If Jared Goff were to go down this past year, how many games do we win?
We'd screwed.
0.
We'd screwed. Nate Sudfeld's not winning you nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just,
that's the way I see it right there. I'm not looking at a guy to take us to the Super Bowl. I'm just looking to hold the fort down. Now, if Jared Goff were to go down for a season, it's not going to matter at that point. I mean, you're done screwed there. But we're talking about, like, get dinged up maybe in a couple games, or he has to come out a couple series or something like that. Someone just to hold the fort down, just all we need. I'm not looking – I don't want to just automatically give the game up and say it's an automatic L. But when you had Tim Boyle and David Blau, it was an automatic L. That's what it was. Sudfeld, I guess we can't really say, but he didn't do anything for San Francisco. I just want to have a chance. Just a chance.
He's just a big, strong arm. He's just a big, strong arm statue. That's all he really is, Sudfeld. You don't want him in the game, man.
Yeah, look how Boyle's good. He played over there. Did he go to Chicago? Yeah, he went to Chicago. That's right. Yeah, Public Enemy. Why is everyone looking for a big, strong, athletic, very mobile quarterback when the history of football, pocket quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning win more? Who's in the Super Bowl right now?
Because we live in the now. That's why.
Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Those two guys are pretty mobile. I think they're pretty mobile, those two guys, right? Steve Young.
I consider Aaron Rodgers mobile in his prime, not now. He's obviously a little bit dinged up right now, or old, but in his prime. But I knew this was going to happen, and I actually tweeted this out as soon as Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts were the Super Bowl. I said, now we're not going to hear how there is no quarterback that wins a Super Bowl that's mobile, because they're both mobile. So one of these guys is going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Eagles. But
Russell Wilson was mobile before he became butt cheeks. 100% raw.
Yeah, like if you're talking about history, Public Enemy, you're talking about guys way back in the day that there was no running quarterbacks. Like you think about it, man. You had like a Fran Tarkenton back in the 60s. But like over the history of the NFL, it's been pocket passers. That's why pocket passers have won more championships. It's really that simple. It's not a hard concept, man. The game has kind of changed. It's changing. It's evolving. There's nothing wrong with having a quarterback that can get out of the pocket and create and extend plays. This isn't the 50s anymore, man. It's different. Football is a lot different now, man. I'm not saying that it's the only way to go, but the pocket passer is kind of dying.
It's absolutely not the only way to go.
Not.
Right now, Jared Goff's immobile, right? He's not a mobile guy. I'm fine with him right now.
That's fine.
I'm perfectly fine with Jared Goff right now, right? Like, I have no problem. But if you want to get if there's a Josh Allen out there who is a big body who can be mobile and still run, you probably go get it, or a Patrick Mahomes, a Jalen Hurts. Like, if you like Tom Brady, hell, he's won championships. I get it, but it's. I think, like Dr. Detroit says, it's not just one is the correct answer. I guess it's what do you want to build? What type do you like? Do you like, strawberry or blueberry? Yeah, I like mobile quarterbacks more, but guess what? I'm perfectly fine with Jared Goff right now. Like, I'm
perfectly fine with it.
Not upset about it.
I'm perfectly fine with it. The Lions are doing exactly what they should be doing when they have a pocket passer. They're building an O-line around him. They're keeping those guys. Just keeping those guys around him, and don't be surprised if
it's all how you build too. Yep.
Don't be surprised if Holmes goes early on an offensive lineman this year. He might go guard early. Don't be surprised if it happens.
Torrance Osiris or Osiris Torrance.
What the kid around Florida, right?
Yeah, and interesting about that. What I heard is it would not be shocking if they went guard early like that. If they went like at 18.
18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me. That's what I was
That's
told.
what you do when you have a pocket passer, man. That's what you do when you have it. You have to protect him. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Some people take it to heart that you're like, oh, you got to build an old line around a pocket passer. We're not picking on Jared Goff. It's just that he's not a mobile guy. So you have to protect him. And if you go get a Cyrus, like Osiris,
but I don't want just a running quarterback. Like you see, just run. Like Justin Fields, I love his mobility, but he's got to get better as a passer. Like got to get better as a passer. Like you got to be able to pass the football. That's where you got like your Patrick Mahomes or you got your Josh Allen. But again, you could be all talented in the world, but in the big game you lose. So I mean, it's not like it's just what do you like personally? Well, I guess what do you like personally? Do you like this or that? So. Like, to me, I personally like mobile quarterbacks, but doesn't mean I don't want Jared Goff to succeed. I'm perfectly fine with Jared Goff.
Exactly.
Let's see, Mike, if you're forced to make a choice, which would you pick? Trade up to 3, draft Carter, or lose a 2nd, 5th, and a 6th, or trade down 9 and get a future 3rd? I'm trading down. I'm not trading up because we have too many needs defensively for us to waste draft picks. And I very much trust Brad Holmes finding players in the 5th round and the 3rd round. I mean, look, Kirby Joseph and James Houston, integral to the Lions defense. I love Jalen Carter, but I do not want to give up players that can help this team out immediately just for that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. I want to trade down too as well.
Let me know in the comment section. Would you guys trade up or down? Just put up or down. I would trade down. I'm not looking to trade up. Not giving up, man. Like, it's scary. Even though I love Jalen Carter, I absolutely think he's the best prospect in this year's draft. But I also believe we need help at linebacker and at cornerback. Like, guard as well, again, is a need. When Justin Fields gets he's going to be a dangerous. Yeah, when he gets his weapons and when he gets more accurate, he'll be scary. 100%. Do you trust that?
I hope the Bears trade him by then.
Do you trust do you trust the Chicago Bears able to develop him? That's a problem because they have been terrible of giving this guy some weapons. And they could hurt him for sure. Hurt his development. Down, 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 down. Everyone's saying trade down right now. Down, down, down.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike, are you still on the best player available train in the 1st round or position specific? BPA for sure. I am, but if there is a need with BPA, that's what I would do. So, again, I'm best player available, so I have Jalen Carter rank 1. I have Will Anderson rank 2. If those guys were available, I'm taking Jalen Carter. Not only do we need interior defensive line, but he's the best player available. But if Will Anderson is there and, say, Gonzalez is there, I have Will Anderson higher than Gonzalez. So I'm going to take Will Anderson at 6, and then I'll look at a corner at 18, even though edge is not quite bit of a need as it is corner. So I'm still BPA. But if you can match them together, that's the golden that's the golden nugget right there. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength you are, Mike. If you can match them together, you can go get that, go get that defensive tackle that you really need, and you go get that corner. You can use BPA and need at the same time. I'm okay with that. I do like BPA a little bit more though. You always got to get that best player available. But I like to mix and match it. I'm okay with meshing it together. No problems with that.
Yeah, I'm not all for just drafting for need. Like, I always believe, don't leave talent on the board. You had an opportunity to get Aaron Donald, you pass it up. Opportunity to get Justin Herbert, you pass it up. Derek Brown, pass it up. Like, you look at all these talents and you get frustrated because you're drafting for need. And by the way, I want to know your thoughts on this because I've seen a mock draft with a tight end.
With a what?
A tight end. Okay, pick 18.
Oh, I seen that.
I know this goes against what I just said there, but I do not want to draft a tight end.
No, we do not need a tight end in this draft. I think we broke a record this year for the Lions franchise of touchdowns. We had Hawkinson obviously involved in that. We traded him away. Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, James Mitchell. They got like 12, 13 touchdowns. We don't need to draft the tight end high because I don't think they used the tight end a ton in this offense. So, Goff was kind of going to him more down the stretch, it seemed like, that they were using him. But why waste a pick on a tight end when you have capable players right now? I think they're all under contract, I believe. All those guys are under contract. You can keep them, develop them even more. And if a guy like a James Mitchell or Brock Wright explode onto the scene, then you have a situation that's a good situation. Don't go out and go get the kid out of Iowa or the kid out of Notre Dame and draft these kids high. We don't need that. We don't need a tight end, man. We don't need one. I'll be upset if they draft a tight end this year.
I will be upset
too. They get one super late. They get one really late. Okay, whatever, man. You get a 6th round, but no, there's no point in doing it high right now. No point.
I think I'd still be upset even late. Like Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and James Mitchell. Brock Wright's a free agent. I'm sure they'll re-sign him. It worked out perfectly fine. I don't want to see we have other positions at some point you got to draft besides tight end. I don't know the fascination with tight end. Like, man, at some point, guys.
Always has been in this city, man. Always has been.
It's going on forever. Like tight end. I'm like, there's other positions you can draft.
Like, look at the top tight ends in the NFL. Look at Kittle. Was he drafted in the 5th? Kelsey, 3rd, 4th round. You don't need to go after guys high, man. You can find your tight end late. But this team doesn't really need one because we have some capable ones. So, I don't know.
A lot of people's in agreement there, no tight ends. Again, if you want one, hey, more power to you. I'm not going to dog you for your personal preference. We're all different, but that's just mine. Like, man, I really don't want to go that route. I'd rather go offensive line. I would rather draft a Hamburglar. I would rather draft Ronald McDonald. I would rather draft freaking Gilbert from former WWF. I would rather draft anybody.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
Man, I seen a draft where we were drafting a punter, and I'm like, Jack Fox, man, we don't need a punter. Like,
why
we just
would we
paid
do
him
that?
too.
That's silly. Wow.
Would you move down with Carolina at number 9, a second round? And absolutely, Patty Grimes, 100%.
Sure.
Because the same guy you're going to get at 6, you're probably going to get at 9. Then you get a second round, a 4th round. Oh hell yeah! I'm all for it. And you got to hope, if you want something like this to happen, you got to hope one of these quarterbacks fall to the Lions at 6. Whether it be probably be a Will Levis, that you'd think that'd be the guy. You got to pray to God this dude falls to the Lions at 6. Because that happens, you have the opportunity to trade out.
Yeah, because Carolina is definitely looking for a quarterback. So yes,
yeah,
that'd be a nice little get there.
Chad says Mike got me wanting to get a Big Mac. Man, I tell you what.
Me too.
Man, I gotta go to rehab in a little bit. I may have to stop to BK, have it my way before I go. Get me a hamburger, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, folks, we've been on for nearly over an hour and 12 minutes. Been on with my good friend Mark Oram from Oram's Forum. Mark, what do you got to say to the folks when we close this bad boy out?
Hey man, thanks a lot, Mike. I love being on LNU. I love being a part of it. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys were great. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to check me out on Mark Oram's Forum. I do videos on Detroit Lions. Trying to do it every day or every other day. Start doing, and I'm doing a podcast. I try to go live. Don't really have a set time. I'm trying to do Fridays, but my schedule is a little bit tough sometimes. But I will be doing one this Friday. It's called Oram's Den. And I appreciate everybody when they come in. I appreciate the feedback, man. Love you guys, man. Thank you.
I appreciate everybody hanging out. Hopefully you guys like the graphics. Slowly trying to build
Love
you guys some new stuff to look at. It's a little bit better presentation. I think that's important. That's why it's been a little bit less with trying to get some of the information, because I got to get this stuff done. It's a priority right now over other stuff. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to keep grinding for you guys, keep getting this thing going. On my channel, it will be 4 p.m., but for the next month, it's going to be 1 p.m. on LNU because of my rehab. So I appreciate everybody understanding. And with that said, folks, adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And fuck all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till